Hello everyone, welcome back to Gent Watches. Today we're going to be continuing with One Piece. So since the last episode, I posted the first episode of One Piece to my channel and got some great responses. Obviously, I know it's weird I'm responding to episode 1 stuff in episode 3, but that's because episode 2 and 1 were recorded back to back so that you could do full length on Patreon. So if you want to see full length of the next episode right now on Patreon, or this episode, you can by going into my Patreon and the link in the description below and subscribing there, and you get full-length reactions and early access to these episodes. So if you just can't wait for episode 4, great, you don't have to. You can go right there, unless you're already watching this on full access, but I'm not talking to you. I also want to thank the Patreon. It's a very new Patreon, but I want to thank Bob, Kip, Shala, DCXL Gaming, and Slippers for being my first patrons. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And there's going to be some good stuff coming to my channel and to Patreon. So just, keep an eye out on there. I want to even start doing possibly like talking about manga that I'm reading on my Patreon, because I don't really have time in my schedule on the YouTube channel to put manga videos in there as well. But I think it'd be kind of fun to do just some Patreon things where I'm just talking about manga I'm reading, because I'm reading quite a few. So yeah, anyway, One Piece. I am very excited today to continue One Piece. It has been 4 or 5 days, I feel like, since I watched the first 2 episodes, and I have been thinking about it a lot. There are a lot of seasonals that I'm watching right now, and that's the reason that I haven't had time to record a new video and post it. But now we're here for it. So yeah, episode 3 now. Thank you for all your comments on the last videos, because I've now been told by a lot of people, do not read the titles of One Piece episodes. I have found that the titles look all very descriptive. Like it's just a plot synopsis instead of actually being a title. So I am going to, it's very difficult, because when I go onto Crunchyroll, I have to click on the episode that I'm up to, and it has the title right there as I'm clicking on it. So I have to try to not look at it there. And also when it comes up on screen, as soon as the text comes up, I'm gonna have to just look away. Maybe even take my headphones off, because I know the tiniest bit of Japanese. If I start picking up Japanese Japanese phrases in there, I might actually spoil myself, or I might hear a character name, like if an episode is called The Return of Kobe or whatever, and then I will know that Kobe's coming back. So yeah, it's kind of difficult, because I'm gonna have to try to avoid it on Crunchyroll, and the audio and the visuals, but I'll do my best. Don't blame me if I accidentally see the title of an episode. But regardless, last episode we were saving Zoro from his little hunger strike. It wasn't a strike. He's being forced to starve in an area by Zel Meppo, I believe his name is. Helmeppo. I was so close. You took the Z from Zoro. Helmeppo. And there's Captain Morgan, who is his father, and we are sort of, I guess, doing a face-off with them right now. I think we're just continuing straight on into there. It still hasn't introduced Nami into the story. I'm wondering when they're going to do that, or if she's just going to continue to be this this character who's following them, or not following them around, but just happens to be in the same places as them. But, I feel like it can't be too long. I feel like she's like, if in my head, when I was thinking of One Piece main characters, it was like Luffy was at the top and then Nami. That was it, straight away. Like, she was the second main character in my head without knowing anything about the show. So we're just gonna get into this episode. I'm excited to watch it. This is episode 3 of One Piece. If you want to watch episode 4 with me right now, or you want to watch a full length to this episode, the Patreon is available for you. And it is cheaper now than it probably will be in the future, at least for full length reactions. In the future, full length might be more expensive. So just if you want to jump in on that, you can do that right here and now in the description below. Let's get into episode 3, I almost said 4, episode 3 of One Piece. Okay, picking up right where we left off. Man, if I was watching this when I was a kid, like before school, that would be so exciting to get this cliffhanger. Almost took out Captain Morgan right there. Don't look. Take off my headset. Okay.
あのワンピースを手に入れるつもりなんです。
I don't. Surely Zoro is not happy about that.
わかんねえから3本持ってきちまったぜ。
Yeah, he fights with a lot of swords. The 3 sword style? Dude, you got 2 hands.
お前は政府に立てつく悪党
Do
だ。
you fight with one between your legs?
海軍に殺されるのとどっちがいい？
海賊に
やったー！
What?
仲間になってくれんのかよ。よし、うひょー。
Really?
分かったらさっさとこの名を
Is he lying?
悪魔の海火を吹く能力津波を起こす能力
Okay, yeah.
いろいろ噂されてはいるが
Yeah, okay, they give you powers.
詳しいことは何一つわからねえに眠っているというがあの麦わらが見せたのは間違い
Man,
ない
okay, so the Grand Line is very important. They've mentioned it a few times now.
相手が何者でも俺に逆らうやつは
Use one of the swords you're giving him.
銃がダメなら切り殺せ
あれ変だな。逆に硬くなっちまったよ。
刀を貸して
Oh!
てめえら動くと切るぜ
Okay.
約束だ
He's
海
promising.
軍と一戦やるからには俺も晴れて悪党ってわけだ
野望？
世界一の剣豪になることだ
Okay.
その時は腹を切って俺に詫びろ
世界一の剣豪。
Yeah, I mean that lines up with our goals. That's fine.
仲間なら
悪名だろうがなんだろうが俺の名を世界中に
Okay, so okay, he's not
何ぼざっとしやがる
he's not that opposed to pirates, I guess.
シャカメゾロ。
I thought that his entire worldview was pirates, but his entire worldview was swordsmanship, by the looks of it. Whoa!
大佐命令だ
Give up your lives.
自分の頭を撃て
Whoa!
部下に弱卒はいらん
No?
軍隊は
I can't believe it. He's just told his soldiers to kill themselves.
海軍大佐おの手の猛眼だ
Axe hand.
ほらルフィ。
Nice, nice nickname. Oh. Okay.
猛眼だよ
His movement's pretty cool.
コビーの夢をぶち壊しやがって。
Yeah.
待て麦わら
This, you know what he looks like? He looks like the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. This guy.
俺がせっかく人質取ってんのに
Helmeppo.
じゃねえちょっとでも動いたら
Does he have the will to do that?
ああ、知ってるよ。諦めろバカ息子。コビーの覚悟は本物だ。ゴムゴムの。
俺は海軍
Don't shout out your sneak attack, Soccer.
ピストル。
Oh. Oh, okay. Huh? Can he not cut through the... Oh, no. Zoro did it.
だら。
お安い御用だ
Did he just trust Zoro? That's a lot of trust. I feel like that's Luffy's thing. He's just like, oh, you're part of my crew? Alright, I'll trust you with my life. Aw, that's nice.
みんな、モーガンが怖い。
Yeah, I mean, that's not how you build loyalty.
ごめんね。ちょっとだけ我慢して。
Alright, get some Nami story here. She just doing some stealing, a little bit of piracy. Okay, no, she's looking for something in specific. Huh? It's just open?
グランドラインのカー
Okay.
ド。やっぱり持ってたのね。
So she cares about the Grand Line too.
カイズじゃない。このマークは
Buggy?
バギー船長。
Okay. Buggy the Immortal has the Grand Line map. I just realized that Zoro has the third sword in his mouth. I just realized that. Does he need to do that? 2 swords is fine, my man.
前はなんで俺より食が進んでんだよ。
I feel like Luffy's stomach can probably stretch if he's made of rubber.
救われたんですもの。
で、今俺の他に何人集まってるんだ？
One? No, not even one. Kobe's not going to be part of his
確
crew.
か仲間集めの最中だって言ってたろお前。
So Zero.
海賊王を名乗ろうとするからには相当
Zero,
な
Zoro.
ってるんだろうな。海賊船はどこだ？
あれだ。
Oh yeah, I wonder where they're going to get the ship from. I didn't even think about the fact that they don't have a ship yet. Yeah, well, we know from the intro that they, assuming the intro is right, they'll get
ルフ
one.
ィさんにはその海を真っ二つに両断する巨大な大陸がレッドライン。
Okay.
レッドラインの真ん中には町があるらしいんですけど、海賊たちがこぞってグランドラインに乗り出したんです。今は凄まじい戦場。
Okay.
海賊の墓場とまで呼ばれ
Okay,
てい
so
ま
it's
す。
mostly dangerous because the pirates are all warring at that area?
だってルフィさんと僕は付き合いは短いけど友達だから。
Aw.
ですよね。小さい頃から友達いなくて、まして僕のために戦って
That's right, now your only friend is gonna die.
その事実が知れたら入隊なんてできねえぜ。
そんな
Huh, interesting.
君らが海賊だというのは本当かね？
Oh no.
今海
Don't just admit that to the Navy.
即刻この町を立ち去っ
Okay,
ても
they're
らおう。
just being kicked out.
せめてもの義理を通し、本部への連絡は避ける。
That's kind of fair.
なんだその言い草は。
I think that's a fair response to have.
私たちの命の恩人だわ。
そうだそうだ。
Like, we'll let you go. Yeah, but you are still
ご
pirates.
ちそうさま。
And you're stating your intention is to stay pirates.
あ、
僕は
Come on, Luffy.
アヒルだっつったかな。
ルフィさん。海賊船
And
にい
he,
たことがバレて
I think he's gonna say you defeated
帰れ
her.
なくなっちゃう。やめてくださいよ、ルフィさん。
だなこの野郎。この野郎。
Oh. Okay. This should get the Navy on his good side.
その辺にしとけよ。
Wow, the Navy didn't even try to stop him from beating up this child.
僕のために。
Okay. Wasn't the way I expected him to do it,
僕に
but
殴らせたんだ。
that's the way to do it.
何も変わってないじゃないか。
He's not even
僕は
able to enjoy
僕
it.
海兵になるためなら。
Come on.
中佐、まずは君の素性
Oh
を
no.
調べてみないことには。
僕は海軍将校になる男です。
軍を甘く見るな。
じゃあ
入隊を許可する。
Yes! Good job, Kobe. 3-episode character arc complete.
このゴームは決して忘れません。
また会おうな。
けれ。
Wow. Saluting them as they leave. It's a lot of respect.
いい友達を持ったな。
Aw.
我々の今の敬礼は海軍軍法の規定を犯すものである。よって全員3日間飯に来た。
Whoa!
わかったか？はっ。
You know what? Respect. Absolute respect for that.
いつかきっと会いましょう。
I have no doubt that's going to happen. There are 1,000 episodes. I have no doubt he's going to meet Kobe again.
海賊王になるって。
Okay.
そうか。
We saw the Straw Hat origin there. An origin that I kind of knew about already because of the openings. They were right next to Nami again and still didn't meet her. We're never gonna meet Nami! What if she's just not in the show and I've been gaslit into thinking that she is? There's no way I skipped the CD. No way. Okay, let me talk about the episode. I've got, you know what? I thought that this episode would be, I would have fewer notes, but I actually had more notes. I don't know if they're important notes, but I've got more notes. So I originally thought that Zoro was, like, cause he was like the pirate hunter or whatever they called him, right? So I thought his whole worldview was pirates are bad, I need to take them all down. Seems like that's not the case. From the implications I got from him here, it was like his whole worldview is I want to be the greatest swordsman, no matter what. And I'm assuming the reason he became a pirate hunter was that was the best way to improve his swordsmanship. was taking down pirates, and it was like an easy enough way. It was like, oh, this is a way that, you know, people will be like not as many people will be against me then, and I can like practice my swordsmanship against a lot of strong people, and there's, you know, got to be a lot of strong pirates in this world because of the treasure that everyone's seeking. So yeah, I can see how I misunderstood his possible worldview, because I really thought that it was going to be a really tough thing to convince him, but he was like, no, if you untie me, I'll be on your crew as long as you don't get in the way of my goals. So that makes sense. So they talked more about the devil's fruit here, but they still didn't go into specifics, and mostly because like people don't know the specifics. People just know there are devil's fruit stuff, and if you eat one, it gives you powers, and the powers that they described were stuff like making tsunamis and stuff. So we know that you can breathe fire, you can turn into a rubber person, you can make tsunamis. There are probably many more. But so far, I don't think we've come across anyone else who's had a world devil fruit. Sorry. And so I feel like, you know, it would be cool if they really did save the devil's fruit characters. Like, you know, I would really appreciate if it was like in the entire series of 1,000 episodes so far, that there were like 10, maybe. That would be like one every 100 episodes. Like, that seems pretty cool. The picture that they had, I could count the ones on the picture. The picture that they had looks like, if I'm imagining the picture right, maybe 20 or 30 possibly devil's fruits in the entire world. So it's possible. But it would also, you know, it would also be something you could potentially do to save like 10 of those devil fruits for the final arc of the entire series. So it's like in the final arc, it's Luffy versus 10 people who've had devil's fruits or whatever. Be kind of cool, I think. But I don't know where the show is going really at all. I don't know what the grand arcs are going to be about. That's kind of what's one of the things that's really exciting about this show. Like, I can see the direction the show is taking in terms of its overall main story arc, right? You know, Luffy's going to become the king of the pirates, so he's going to the Grand Line. The Grand Line's where a bunch of pirates are warring, and they gotta try to find the treasure. Simple enough, but in between, there are probably a billion story arcs, and some of them are major story arcs. So I guess we gotta see, like, where that takes us. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's, like, from the openings, I seemed to see one that looks like a prison break story arc where they're trying to break someone out of prison. But that's really all I could get. I can't tell any of the other stuff about what the story will actually be about. So I am definitely interested, and I know they are massive overarching stories, because the arcs, like, I'm pretty sure to start with it's very, you know, Monster of the Week like, but as the series is going to go on, I imagine the story arcs are just going to be like these massive things. I like the trust that was shown in this episode. Like, we can see already that Zoro and Luffy trust each other. Zoro seems like he's a pretty, like, chill guy where he's like, fine, this isn't going to hurt my goals. He trusts himself enough that he can trust other people. I think that's an assessment of his character that I can be comfortable with, where he actually, like, trusts in his own skills. And I mean, you have to trust in your skills to put a sword in your mouth. No sane person who kind of knows how to use a sword is going to put a sword in his mouth. In fact, I think no sane person would put a sword in their mouth, period. I don't see how much more benefit you can get from having because the thing is, like, okay, you're holding two swords, you got a sword in your mouth, the sword is stretching out that way, so that you've got that much extra damage potential. So I suppose his main thing's probably he spins and shit. So if he's spinning, it's like there are two blades coming over here and then one on this side, so he's covering all his sides. If he, like, turns his head, then he's got one blade here and two blades out here, so as he spins, he's like a damn fucking Beyblade. And so I can see it being somewhat effective, but I mean, I feel like the annoyance and the cumbersomeness of having an extra sword there, not only weighing you down, making it so that you can't speak, the potential to drop it, the potential to be disarmed and someone has a sword now against you, like, that feels like there's so much there that's not useful. However, as a character idea, it's pretty cool because every character has either 1 or 2 swords. There are not many characters that have 3 swords because it doesn't, because you can't really do it. Like, the only exceptions are characters like General Grievous who have a bunch of hands as well, so they can carry a bunch of swords. But I don't think I've ever seen a swordsman that takes himself as seriously as Zoro does that has a sword in his mouth. Also, we got a tease of a character called Buggy the Immortal, who seems to have who has stolen one of the Grand Line maps that Nami wants. Now, and it's interesting now because Nami is Nami going to accidentally cross paths with them again? Because I don't think Nami's not purposefully going where they're going. She just happens to have similar goals to them. But are they going right to the Grand Line now? I'm pretty sure like the main crew don't know about Buggy the Immortal. I think they were saying they're just going right to the Grand Line. But then Buggy the Immortal might also be going to the Grand Line, and Nami's going to Buggy, so they might all intersect on the way there, I guess. And finally, the best thing was the salute at the end. They were all saluting. They're saluting like this, by the way. Is that like a Navy salute, or is that an in-universe thing? It's like the Attack on Titan doing that is the salute in the Attack on Titan universe. But I don't know if that's actually like is that actually a Navy salute instead of doing that to do that. But anyway, I love that the Navy all saluted them as they were going, and then he was like, but we broke naval law, so we're all gonna not eat for 3 days, and everyone was fine with that. So it's like the Navy actually were like, we know that we owe a lot to you guys. We're still part of the Navy, we're still Marines, we still want to do our jobs properly, so we can't accept you, but what we can do is take the punishment for rewarding you. And I think that is really good, really redeems those characters. Great job, really entertaining. That was a great episode. I liked that. I mean, I think if this was just if this was a show that like just started, or like if I was just watching this show not knowing it's One Piece, I would think it's an okay episode, you know, because it's so grand that I would be like, well, I'm never going to see any of this stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But because One Piece, like, has been proven to last for so long, it makes these early episodes actually really entertaining, because I'm like, well, I can see the potential for everything they're doing here. And these words they're mentioning, these places that they're mentioning, these pirates, different types of pirates and all that sort of stuff, it is plausible I will see them. So, and like in the distant future, it could be 2.5 years before I see some of this stuff come into fruition, but it's still exciting, you know? So yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. If you enjoyed it, watching me go through One Piece, then thank you very much for joining me. Please make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe. And of course, I have a Patreon now, so if you want to watch full length to this and a bunch of other shows, as well as possible other videos I might be doing, I'm even planning to, if I get time, do a timed exclusive series. By that I mean I will do a series first on Patreon, and once it's complete on Patreon, then it will start coming on YouTube. But that will just be because it'll just be in my spare time. I can't really fit it into my schedule now, but if I ever get a spare half hour here or there, I work on this extra series and put it onto the Patreon, and then eventually I can put it onto the YouTube. But if you want early access to it, chuck onto my Patreon now. But thank you very much for joining me for another episode. I love you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.